Moving on now to our other big story, and let's bring up these images, these shocking images that you're seeing of BJP Member of Parliament Tarun Vijay being assaulted in Uttarakhand. What did he do? He tried to say that Dalits have the equal right of entry into temples. It is modern day apartheid. It's a medieval sort of, you know, it's medieval racism. There is no other word for it. It's something that every Indian should be ashamed of. And when a Member of Parliament does lead Dalits into a temple, he is beaten up, he ends up in hospital where he is still recovering. In fact, earlier in the day, he told me that it was a miracle that he was still alive. Let's go across now to his daughter, Shambhavi Vijay. This is Tarun Vijay's daughter. Tarun himself is too unwell to actually join us. Shambhavi, first we must ask you, how is your father? And as his daughter, what do you have to say about why this cause is so important to him?
He's still recovering, but in a lot of pain. He's been moved from the ICU though. The cause has always been close to him. It's been since his days from the Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram. And more than that, we are just hurt, so is he, because his own fellow Uttarakhandis, this is his constituency, he's been born, brought up, studied, married here. His own people became so hateful that they had to throw stones at him. It's so sad to know that, you know, in this society, it's still prevalent that, you know, our own fellow humans can't get entry inside a holy place.
And Shambhavi, now that your father has been assaulted in this way, would you, as a daughter, say, okay, you know, would you say to your father, now you've done your bit, now you step out, or would you still encourage him to keep fighting for the right of entry for Dalits into all temples?
No, I don't think I've been taught to give up, and I'm sure he won't do the same, because this is not the first time that he's been challenged. And this is a cause that has been risen a lot of times before as well through him. And I'm sure that he's not going to give up so easy. He's going to come back from the hospital, and he's going to make sure, he's requested the CM as well, that apart from the probe, if you really have to make a difference, at least open up the temple, open up entry to the temple for everybody, all the Dalits, each and every person.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And it's actually shameful that we still have this kind of apartheid for the times we live in. Now, Shambhavi, stay with us. We've got Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, who's of course one of our most important and eminent spiritual leaders on the program today. We've got Chandrabhan Prasad, a Dalit scholar and author and Shaina NC of the BJP. Sadhguru, if I may start with you, you know, when we see a member of parliament being beaten up in this way for actually just saying everyone has the equal right to pray, how do you see it as such a big guru yourself? You know, how do people like yourselves lend your voice to this fight, Sadhguru?
One of the most shameful aspects of our nation is this discrimination against the Dalits. It is not just entry to temples, even in the cremation grounds, they cannot enter, tea shops they cannot sit. The discrimination is pervasive across every aspect of life. Though the laws have been put together where there is no discrimination in the law, but socially we've not been able to fix it. The only way I feel that they can get out of this social and economic pit is education. So there is a movement in that direction, particularly in the south, that the Dalits are getting educated and moving out of the villages, because anyway, most of them, almost 90% of them are landless people. They don't own lands. So it's best that they study and move out of these villages, because this is where the maximum discrimination is. But I don't think that is true with the northern part of the country, because the same opportunities have not been created. But this is the most shameful aspect of our nation, that we've not been able to fix this. Though we have passed laws, legislations have happened, socially we've not been able to fix it. Variety of things have been done to fix this, but the level of discrimination is so organized, or rather I should say so organic, that you cannot even see it, it's almost like it's a natural part of life.
Yeah.
That is how ingrained it is into the society. So work needs to be done on all levels, not just the temple, particularly the cremation grounds. People can't walk on certain streets in the villages because of their caste. This has to go.
Yes.
And I think the political parties participating is really… it's painful to see that Tarun Vijay has been attacked like this, but it's good that a political party and the leaders of the political party are taking this up, because till now they have not said much, I would say.
Exactly.
Irrespective of the parties, most people have not done enough on the ground.
Exactly.
Only laws have been passed, but
There's been no
without the
political
participation of major political parties to
Yes.
end this,
Yes, exactly.
it needs a political movement, definitely.
Chandrabhan Prasad, you know, as a Dalit who has sometimes argued that victimhood has to end, capitalism, education will change these kind of prejudices. Sir, there are police officers, you know, there was a policeman who got married and he tried to, a Dalit policeman, and he tried to gain entry to a temple in Uttarakhand, and even he was thrown out. Chandrabhan Prasad. So I think as Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev says, this is almost treated as normal in our society. That is the shame.
See, there are two types of Hindus, two types of societies. One is urban, one is rural.
Yes.
One is Nagpur, one is IIC. Dalits have suffered it. Now the custodians of Hindu religion have to explain as what kind of society they defend, what kind of religion they
Why
celebrate.
would you say that, Chandrabhanji?
Where?
Chandrabhanji, why would you, instead of saying more power to Tarun Vijay for doing this, make this about Nagpur and the RSS?
See, my heart goes with Tarun Vijay. I salute him, and there have been so many white people in the US who have fought and sacrificed their lives for blacks.
Yes.
And there are people in this country also who are upper caste, who are Hindus, who stand with Dalits.
Yes.
But this Bharat Mata, Vande Mataram type of Hindus are really a problem to this society. Whether India would like to compete with the rest of with the world with modernity, freedom. This is only today in Haryana, a Dalit bride, a Dalit groom was beaten up and thrown out from the horse he was riding. What kind of society we want? What kind of religion we want? The Nagpur headquarter must explain.
Let me get Shaina to respond to that. Shaina, Chandrabhan says that the Nagpur brand of Hinduism is actually, you know, as the BJP has often been called, Brahminical, upper caste, that in fact when you have conversions debates and you want ghar vapsi, nobody says what caste the Dalit coming home will come back to. So while Tarun Vijay individually is to be applauded, this kind of Brahminical Hinduism is a problem.
How ill-founded is this theory and logic? The RSS is the only organization that has fought untouchability tooth and nail. And I don't think that this is about distinguishing between A and B. Tarun Vijay ji does belong to our party and our ideology, but that apart, I think this is about humanity. And in the 21st century, when we as women have been agitating that we want to enter places of worship, be it temples, mosques, churches, how can we discriminate against any segment of this great country of ours? And who is to suggest that Dalits are upper caste or lower caste? The caste system has been abolished in the minds of all progressive Indians ages ago. So every time you bring up an argument and suggest that the RSS
there is policy framed on the basis of caste. How can we say it's been abolished?
Hear me out, Barkha. I am talking about the larger debate. In the 21st century, are we progressive in our thought process? If we are, there is no discrimination that one needs to especially in a place of worship. Having said that, this unfortunate incident that took place needs to dwell upon the outrage in every segment of society that has condemned it. So I don't think this debate is about the Brahmanical order or to suggest that, you know, there are segments
Let me
which
get
have been
Chandrabhan to respond
discriminated
quickly to
since
that, then I
time
want to go back to
immemorial,
Sadhguru.
so it must continue.
Chandrabhan Prasad, is it fair at this moment to make this about what you don't like about the RSS? You may not like the Bharat Mata Ki Jai controversy, you may not like these diktats of patriotism, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Tarun Vijay stood up for a good cause. And he got beaten for it.
And that the RSS has fought untouchability.
Chandrabhan Prasad.
Barkha ji, if I recall my childhood experience and my experience till day, I have watched Hindus, the more religious they are, the most subhumans they are towards Dalits. My fight is not with RSS, my fight with the RSS mindset that why do you endorse this kind of caste order? Why
They
can't
don't,
you say
sir.
that Hinduism has
They
a
don't.
problem?
It is your imagination that believes so.
In fact, I think the RSS, Shaina, you want a quick response very briefly because I want Sadhguru and Shambhavi to have the last
Yes,
word.
absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shaina.
Sir, this is clearly a figment of your imagination. If at all you go back in time and read the history of the RSS, you will realize every Sarasang Chalak has spoken against untouchability, has ensured that we don't even broach this subject in terms of higher class and lower class, and the caste system, which is something that has been, forget my saying so, has been recorded historically. So I don't think this is about that. I think this is about
I
if
want to
it
go to
can
Sadhguru
happen
on
in
this.
the 21st century in Uttarakhand, where you have a local who is going with other locals to a place of worship and is thrashed. We need to condemn this mindset.
Of course,
where
of course,
it
of course.
emanates from is another issue.
Okay, that's a separate debate. Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, the fact is you had an Ambedkar who spoke about the annihilation of caste. The Hinduism he saw, he felt shut its doors to somebody even as great as the man who was the architect of our constitution. As a spiritual leader, Sadhguru, what would you say to this young girl, Tarun Vijay's daughter who's on the program? What would you say to a Dalit sort of scholar like Chandrabhan Prasad who believes that the religion itself, for the way it's practiced, has been exclusionary, has been prejudicial?
I'm not able to hear the question, it's gone.
If you can hear me,
Anyway, question.
Can you?
Now I can.
Yeah, just your last thoughts to this young girl, Tarun Vijay's daughter here, and to Chandrabhan who believes that the religion itself, for the way it's practiced, is discriminatory, Hinduism.
See, nowhere in what you're referring to as Hinduism is it written that this discrimination needs to happen. But at the same time, unfortunately, it's been in practice for millennia. And though legislations have been passed, though laws have been made, though everybody is aware this is… discrimination is a kind of a crime, in spite of that, they have not been able to socially remove it. And every time there is an incident like this, if we get busy pulling punches at each other, we will never solve this problem. This has been the main thing. So, one significant thing that's happened in recent times is that Dalits have a representation in the panchayat administration, though that is not effectively so yet, but at least they have a numerical representation and it is becoming effective in most parts of the country. This discrimination is at different levels in different parts of the country in different ways, but there is a pervasive discrimination in one way or the other. So instead of… if we want to just do an academic debate and this, not concerned about correcting anything, we can go on endlessly blaming the past. Yes. But the fact of the matter is, all of us are living in this society, unable to do much about it. We have done a lot on the ground, but still what we have done is still a drop in the ocean. So all of us are involved in making of this nation. It is important everybody gets together towards a solution, and the solution I feel is social and political movements which will obliterate this to whatever extent we can in this generation. I feel anyway this doesn't have a life in the next generation of people, but in this generation we want it to go. We need political and social movements, strong movements across the country to take this out, because the laws are in place, implementation needs to happen with political movements. It is a very, very good thing. It's unfortunate that he's injured, but an MP being there, wanting to do this from a ruling party is a very, very positive sign. I hope every MP in their constituency takes it up and does whatever little they can.
Yes.
Cremation grounds and temples at least must get open to everybody for common use.
Well, we'll leave it there. Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev Shambhavi, give our best regards to your father. We hope you recover soon. Chandrabhan Prasad Shaina, NC. We will have a larger debate on the place of caste and how it collides with notions of religion sometime. Leaving it there.